welcome back to my channel. I do just want to thank you guys for tuning in with me and sticking with me. I know it's been so long since I filmed a video, but I am a new mom and I just needed to really get adjusted, and I wanted to make sure I had good information before I share with you guys. It is really hard to find time just to sit down and film and do my thing, but I'm back. So thank you for tuning in. This video is just going to be a breastfeeding 101 video just to share my experience so far with breastfeeding, as well as a lot of products that have really helped me on my nursing journey. So I just want to start by saying I am in no way a medical expert. If you are struggling or you have actual questions, I just recommend that you reach out to a medical professional or expert, a doctor, a lactation consultant, and they can answer your questions. I'm just here to share my journey and hopefully shed some light on some products that really helped me thus far. For tip number one, I do just want to say breastfeeding is challenging. Like at the beginning, you're gonna be tired because you're your child's only source of food. Nobody else can pick up the slack for you until you start pumping, if that's what you want to do. But at the beginning, when your child's hungry, they need you, and they're gonna need you regardless. But solely for feeding, you are the prime source of food, so it's going to be a little tiring. At the beginning, babies do cluster feed. They want to feed all the time. My son was eating like every 30 minutes. So just know and understand that, you know, that's what babies do, and you just have to get adjusted. You've never done this before if you're a first-time mom, and your baby is getting used to it, so it's going to take some time. My son did latch right away, but that is an issue that a lot of women have, is latching. So I also, just as tip number two, recommend that you speak with a lactation consultant. When I was in the hospital for my 3 days, my lactation consultants were so helpful to me. I mean, like, I don't even know what I would have done if I wasn't able to speak with them, because he did latch right away. So I thought everything was, you know, perfect. And so when she came in, even though she, you know, encouraged me, she also showed me some things that I wasn't sure about, as far as positions and like how to get his mouth to my breast all the way, how to help him get as much colostrum and milk as he could. So I do just recommend talking to a lactation consultant. They know what they're doing, they're experts, and don't be afraid to ask questions. It's okay if you don't know. It's okay if you're confused. It's okay. Just make sure that you ask questions. I also want to say, don't let anyone discourage you from breastfeeding, even if that person is yourself. Breastfeeding is difficult once again, and I know, like, in past generations, people had kind of moved away from breastfeeding and went more towards formula, and that's okay. But knowing what we know now and knowing how beneficial and nutritional breastfeeding is to your child, whatever your reasons are for wanting to breastfeed your child, whether it's nutrition, a bond, money, anything, just stay true to that. Don't let anyone discourage you. When my child was first born, he was wanting to eat all the time, like every 30 minutes, and people would be telling me like, oh, your baby's too hungry, he's not getting enough food, you need to give him formula or cereal. And I would just be like, no, like, he's fine, like, this is what babies do. And thankfully I stayed true to that, because it was getting a little overwhelming, and I did start to think like, dang, maybe it is me, maybe I'm not making enough milk, maybe I do need to give him formula. But when I spoke with my doctor and his doctor, they were like, your baby is perfectly on track, he's eating the way he's supposed to eat, so you know, you're doing a good job. So just don't let anybody discourage you. And if you are getting discouraged, just talk to somebody who may have breastfed before, even watch a video, because it can encourage you and show you that you're not the only one that's feeling that way. So my next tip is something that really helped me when I first began breastfeeding, and it's still helping me now. When I started breastfeeding, I set small goals for myself when I was pregnant. At the end of my pregnancy, I'm like, okay, I know I want to breastfeed, but I want to be realistic about this. So how can I support myself? So I set small goals. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the first 3 days breastfeeding, gonna see how he does, see if he latches, all of that. And you know, if I can get through the first 3 days, I can go 2 weeks. People always told me that if you could get through the first 2 weeks, then you could breastfeed forever, however long you want. And that, I genuinely feel like it's true. So once I got through the first 3 days, I looked up and it had been, you know, 2 weeks past, and I'm like, wow, like, I did it, like 2 weeks. So once I got to 2 weeks, I'm like, shoot, I can go to 3 months. And then here I am at almost 4 months breastfeeding. So having those small goals helped me be able to support myself and also give myself a little bit of praise, like when I got to those little time intervals, and just congratulate myself and tell myself that I was proud and happy, and just see the growth of my son. And it was just a good thing for me. So now that I'm at 3 months, my goal is to get to 6 months, and then at a year I do want to start weaning him off. But you know, I just think that that was a really useful tip for me. So maybe if you are someone who does need encouragement from yourself, then you can try that, and it really helped me. Okay, next tip I want to say, at the beginning, your baby's getting colostrum. So the liquid that's coming out at the beginning when you first have your baby is not milk, it's colostrum. It's a fatty, more of a fatty liquid, more nutritional for your baby, just to build a foundation. So the first couple of days until your milk comes in, you're gonna have colostrum. If you don't see a lot of a substance or liquid coming out, that's fine. Like my lactation consultant had told me, your baby's getting what they need. Even if it's just a little, the first couple of days, that's what your body's doing. Your body knows what to do. That's what it's providing, and your baby's getting what they need. So don't feel like at the beginning, like, why isn't anything really coming out? Don't feel like that. Like, your body's doing exactly what it needs to do. Just be patient with your body, listen to your body, and listen to your child, and just work the way that it works for both of you. And don't be alarmed at the beginning, because I was kind of like, what is going on? Like, where's my milk? But once I sat down and spoke with other people about it, I understood that, you know, this is just the process that your body does. So my next tip that I really just want to go over with you guys is, I really think that it's beneficial if you're someone who goes a lot of places with your baby. I go everywhere with my son. Like, when I'm going somewhere and he's with me, he's going with me, you know. So we roll out to the store, to the mall, whatever. Check and make sure that the places that you're going to are breastfeeding friendly, which most places are, but I mean in the sense that they have a lactation room or somewhere that you may be able to sit and feed your baby. I know, like, at the beginning when I would go to the mall, I went to this one mall that was close to my house that I always go to. They had a family restroom, but not really one that was like comfortable and clean to where I wanted to sit down and feed him. So I started going to another mall that's only like 20 minutes away, but they had a very nice family lounge for women, and I could sit down and feed him and change him and take my time and just be more comfortable. So maybe if you're going out with your baby, just see if where you're going has a lactation room, so that you can feel more comfortable and you can just be alone for a second and feed your child. And just have some time. It's a bonding experience. So like places like Bye Bye Baby have one, some malls, I mean, just different places. So just check that out, and that might be really helpful to you. My last tip is just about when you're engorged. When your milk comes in, ladies, let me just say, oh my goodness, I was in so much pain. Like, my breasts were so swollen. I mean, from like the top to the bottom, it was painful. It was hard. It felt like I had bricks on my chest, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Like, if this about to feel like for the next year, I'm gonna lose my mind. Don't be discouraged by that. Your breasts are only engorged, well, for mine, they were only engorged for like a week, and maybe a week and a half. And I watched YouTube videos and spoke to my lactation consultant and my sister, people who had breastfed, and they just recommended that I massage my breasts. At the top, you can feel where your milk ducts are swollen, and just FYI, you can feel when your milk comes in too. Literally, it felt like, I don't even know how to explain it. Wow, this whole time I've had lipstick on my teeth. When your milk comes in, you can feel it. Like, I felt it. Like, it felt like a stream running down my breast. Okay, so just massage your milk ducts, feel around, massage for them. You can use ice packs. It's a lot of different things you can do just to take that pain away, because at the beginning it's uncomfortable, and I wouldn't really say like painful, but it's just uncomfortable, and it takes getting used to. And even the feeling of nursing yourself takes a lot of getting used to. So just work with yourself, listen to your body, listen to your baby, and just really do what works best for you. And just keep in mind that every baby and every mother is different. So if something that someone else is doing isn't working for you, that's okay. You have to find your way of feeding, your positions that work for your baby, that make them comfortable, that make them want to eat. So take your time, listen to your body, and be patient with yourself. Breastfeeding is hard. It is so much work, but it is so worth it. I promise you, it is just so beneficial. And just stick with it and encourage yourself. And, you know, just just listen to your baby and give you guys some time. I promise you'll be okay. You're gonna look up how I look up now and feel like I'm a breastfeeding pro. You're gonna look up and be like, wow, I really did it. Like in the middle of the night when you tired at the beginning and your baby want to eat all the time and you're up, it's gonna be so worth it. So just keep that in mind, because I can honestly say it was one day where I was just like, skip this, like he too hungry, I'm about to go get some formula. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning and my mom was like, no, you know that you want to breastfeed, and for one, it's dangerous, you're not going anywhere, just he's fine. So thankfully I didn't do that, but I just said that to let you know that there will be times that you may want to give up, but just stay true to your goals and your what you want to do for your baby and yourself. Because breastfeeding really did also help my stomach go down a lot faster than I thought. So that's also another benefit from it. But just stay true to what you want to do with your baby and you'll be perfectly fine. Now we're just going to go over the products, like I said, that are essential to me so far on my journey breastfeeding. My number one product that I want to show you guys and recommend that has helped me tremendously is my Bobby pillow. This is the Bobby pillow. I have the white pillow and I have the covering over it. This has been a lifesaver. When I tell you I used this every day up until he was about 2.5 months old, it has helped me so much. For one, so you can put it right on your stomach like this, right around your waist, and your baby can lay on the horizontal way and feed. This is the way that my child liked to feed the most. He preferred that position. It just gives your arm a little bit of support. You're holding an 8-9 pound baby, so it can get pretty, you know, tiring and pretty heavy, and so it just gives your arm some support so that it doesn't hurt so much. It also allows you to be hands-free. Once your baby's big enough, they can lay there and feed, and you know, you can do whatever you need to do. A lot of times I would eat while my baby was eating or drink water, just because I was kind of like killing two birds with one stone. Also, you can turn it this way and feed on the side in the football position. It also goes around your waist, and my baby liked to do that with the right breast. So it was just really helpful because I can turn it and see, you know, which way he prefers at that time. My second favorite product for breastfeeding that I definitely would recommend is the Earth Mama nipple butter. This stuff right here, let me tell y'all, this has been amazing. It smells so good. It almost smells like a shea butter, but like a cocoa shea butter. It has been so wonderful for my nipples. It's just been amazing. For one, I've never suffered from like cracked nipples. I've heard so many horror stories with breastfeeding and like nipples hurting and your areola. I have not had that issue because I've been using this since literally day one, and I always would put it on after I fed my baby. The good thing about this is like BPA free. It doesn't have lanolin, no GMOs, so you don't have to wipe it off before you feed your baby. That's just up to you. I did put it on after just because it would just hurt for a minute sometimes at the beginning, and it really would take away the discomfort. The other good thing that I love about these, if you are a woman that pumps, I do pump. I am in my master's program, so when I go away to school, my son goes with his father. He also goes with his father, you know, normal time, so I do have to send milk, so I pump. I use this when I'm pumping to lubricate the breast shields because they're plastic, so when you're pumping and they're rubbing up against your breast all the time, it can hurt. The one day that I didn't put this on my breast shield, when I forgot it, it was so incredibly painful and it hurt so bad. I put it on my nipple and my areola, and it really has worked wonders. So I definitely would recommend the Earth Mama nipple butter. So coming up, I think we're on like number 5. These are things that I 100% think that all nursing mothers need, but just depends on your, you know, feelings towards breastfeeding. I do prefer to cover up, so I do use nursing covers when I'm in public, unless I'm around like family or, you know, I do use nursing covers. This one's pretty big. I love this one. Someone got this for me off of Amazon for my baby shower, and I will leave a link down below because it has just been amazing. It does just cover me up, and also it's really cozy for my baby, so when we're out places, sometimes he just likes to stay under there, and he'll just like be under there after he's done eating and chilling. So I would recommend a nursing cover. When he was first born, I used a nursing apron because I was just getting adjusted to nursing, so it was open on the sides and it just went around my neck. I don't really use it anymore because it is open, and so now he's bigger and he can play with it and move it out the way, and so it's not, you know, as covered as I want it to be now. But when he was little, it was way better than the nursing cover. I actually preferred it because it was open, I could see him, it was easier to get him in and out, and it was just really easy. So I would recommend that. Also, just keeping as well like a little blanket. This is one of my son's blankets that I keep in my diaper bag just in case something happens to my nursing cover. Anything could happen. This blanket is wide enough to provide coverage over me to feed him, so I keep this with me as well. Different ones just when I'm going places, because anything could happen. I could drop that cover in a puddle and I would need it, so I keep my nursing covers. Now I'm just gonna go over the things that I recommend for pumping mothers who are pumping exclusively or breastfeeding and pumping. So this is just gonna be for you guys. My son Sean is making an appearance in this video. Say hi, everybody, because he's not feeling being over there in that play mat. So he's just gonna be with mommy for the duration of the rest of the video. So here we go. Most definitely, if you are pumping, what you do need is a breast pump. I use the Medela Advanced Pumping Style Double Breast Pump. I did get it through my insurance. I really do like it. So you do need a breast pump if you're planning on pumping. That one is available in a lot of different places. I use all of Medela products just because I like things that go together, and I know that they work well because of my breast pump. So another thing that you need is breast storage bags. So once again, I use the Medela breast storage bags. I really do like these bags. I love these bags. Actually, they're very heavy duty. I haven't had any issues with storage or milk coming out or defrosting anything bad. So I would just recommend those because I know that they work. Also, someone did purchase, a couple people purchased these storage bags for me for my baby shower. The Parents' Choice storage bags. These are a cheaper option than the Medela storage bags. So I definitely would maybe check these out as well. When I do run out of the Medela ones, I'm planning on trying these just because I already have them. So these might be a good option for you. They're at Target as well as Amazon. So you can definitely check these out also. Before I do forget, something that's not even just for pumping mothers, but this is literally an essential: breast pads. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I would do without breast pads. Literally, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about what it's like without breast pads, but your milk will be everywhere. If you're like me and you have a lot of milk, your milk will be everywhere. I use the Lastino breast pads. I have tried the Medela breast pads, but I actually didn't really care for those. So these really do stay dry. They're like $7.99 for a pack of 50 at Target. So I thought that my breasts were gonna stop leaking after like a month of breastfeeding, but no. Here I am almost 4 months in and still using breast pads. So I definitely would recommend breast pads. So if you are someone who is going to school, work, or just traveling with your baby, I do recommend a breast milk cooler. Once again, I use the Medela breast milk bottle cooler. It came with 4 bottles inside, which was really cool. And also it has the ice pack. So I love this ice pack because it has ridges on it. The bottles go right in and it keeps it very cold for a long time. I usually leave the house around 4 and come back around 10, and they're still very cold when I get home. So I definitely would recommend this one. I mean, it doesn't take up a lot of space, so it's pretty good for me. Also, the ice pack gets cool relatively quickly. If I am leaving around 4 o'clock and I put it in the freezer around 1, it's still frozen. I got that at Target. I think it was $29.99. So that's why I really like Medela breast pump products, because they're all at Target and I can always replenish them. So the product that I really want to show you guys, and I think has been so more than beneficial to my pumping and breastfeeding experience, is my breastfeeding tote. I love my breastfeeding tote. I got it on Amazon. At first I was like, I'm not getting a breastfeeding tote. That's a waste of money. I have diaper bags. I got regular bags. I'm not buying that. I never realized how much space my breast pump took up and how heavy it is when you've got a million things that you're trying to travel with. I never realized how much space it just takes up and how hard it was to fit everything in my bags. So I'm like, okay, something has to give. I got my cooler, I got this, I got my books, my phone, my iPad. Like, it's just not gonna work. So I got a breastfeeding tote on Amazon. I'll leave the link down below. I don't remember where I got it from. But this tote has two pockets, one on each side. There's a pocket and then the other pocket. And the pockets are like so spacious. I use each pocket, one for my breast pump and one for my breast cooler. Look at how big this pocket is. There's so much space, and it just keeps everything so compact and like together and orderly. And then the inside, I still have space for, I keep breast pads, extra breast pumping accessories, just different things. And I have space for everything. My tablet, my computer, whatever I need, I have space for it. And it doesn't hurt my shoulder as much because everything is in one place. So I love this breastfeeding tote. I definitely would recommend it. Mine also came with an assembly mat, which is another must-have. So it's just an assembly mat. It's pretty big too, to set up my pumping accessories when I am pumping and I'm away. Even though I do sanitize like the table and everything, I really like to have an assembly mat because you just can never be too germ free. So I know that that's safe and clean, and I clean it every time I use it. So I like it because I know that it's clean because I've cleaned it. So I would recommend getting a breast pumping assembly mat. It came with my tote, thankfully. So if you can find one that comes with the one you want, if you can find a tote that comes with an assembly mat, that would save you some money too. Coming to a close here, something that I love is my wet bag. I got this wet bag off of Amazon. Once again, I was like, I don't need that, but I bought it when I got my breastfeeding tote because I was putting my pumping accessories just in like a Ziploc bag, like a freezer bag, and putting it inside of my bag. It just was getting in the way. I was just using too many bags every day. I was switching them out, and that was just getting ridiculous. So I bought this. It was like 2 for $5 from Alva Baby, and it has 2 different pockets, one on the very front right here and one at the top. And I keep my breast pumping accessories in here, extra breast pumping accessories. I just love it because it keeps everything sterile, it keeps everything in one place, and I can pop it in the washer. I can wipe it out myself. And I just really like it. I like things to be really orderly, especially when it comes to my baby, of course. So I definitely think that this is something that you should invest in. It was literally like $5. Inside of the bag, this is something else that I use sometimes, is the Medela Quick Clean wipes. I only use these in an emergency, so I keep them with me because just in case I'm not near a sink, I do need something that I can keep my stuff clean with, as well as hand sanitizer. So I keep that as well in my breastfeeding wet bag. Yeah, so those are just everything that I really feel has been beneficial to me as far as nursing. I really hope that this video has been helpful to any nursing mother, any pregnant woman, soon-to-be mother, someone who's looking to buy a gift for a mother, just anyone who just wants to be educated. These products have genuinely helped me, and of course I'm not sponsored or anything. This is just what's been good for me. So I definitely would recommend all of these products that I have showed you guys. Once again, I've used them myself, so they have worked for me. I hope that they work for you as well. If not, there are so many products on the market and so many women sharing information about what products work for them. You just have to try and do trial and error and see what's gonna work for you on your breastfeeding experience. So just to go ahead and end the video, thank you guys for tuning in. I make motherhood and lifestyle videos, so please stay connected with my channel, and I just hope that I was able to give you guys some really helpful information. As always, I hope everyone stays blessed and stays safe, and thank you guys for watching.